No. 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 Not another headset. Guys. And if you couldn't tell, I'm having horrible flashbacks to the last victim who never seemed to take off a headset in Todd, the oh so great Todd. What a great man he was, huh? But I digress. Today's victim, I'll put it as a card up there if you want to go watch the previous time we've seen him, but please do it after this video, okay? But spoiler alert, and I'm gonna give you 3 seconds if you want to pause it. Maybe go watch that video first. 3, 2, 1. Baby, I hope you clicked off. But not permanently. Please support this channel. And come back, please. But we saw this guy last time, after this particular scam we're about to watch. And he was talking about being scammed by the Illuminati or something. They contacted him. Needed his help with something, as you do. The world's most powerful organization,
allegedly,
the Illuminati, they contacted this random guy to do something. Don't we all get that message? And wait a second. Oh, the mere mention of Illuminati, guys, I can't stop this. I don't know what's happening right now. Can you? It's rising.
What do you mean by that?
I've been compromised. And so have you. The strangest intro on this channel. Now, before we get into this guy's, origin story, how he became a villain for the Illuminati, his entire background is a green screen, which is interesting because you could argue that's how he's able to live in this fantasy world. Do you get it? I pointed to my eyebrows. The caterpillars shall inform you of your bad decisions, mate.
What did that just mean?
I can fall in love with a woman in one day.
Nice.
When I touch them.
What?
I don't know why. Like I said, I've been hurt by women before. We just get along everywhere. I mean, she loves the same kind of movies. She loves the music I like.
Shh. What do you mean you can fall in love with a woman in one day when you touch them? Maybe the worst superpower ever, mate.
She likes to cook. I like to cook. She likes to go out to bars and see bands. She likes to stay home and cuddle like I do. We just seemed like we get along great.
Sure. Oh.
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Scamfish, sponsored by socialcatfish.com.
Sorry, Drew is narrating this apparently from a hostage situation. Yeah. Welcome back to another Scamfish, guys. Enunciate, please.
I like her because her number one thing is her child. I told her I was willing to adopt her daughter, so she was my daughter. I just like the fact that she's a single mother and, she really cares a lot about her daughter.
In today's episode, we speak to a man named Andrew, who...
Once again, Drew's gonna put me to sleep at this point, but some might argue, I already do that to you. When he says, I like the fact she's a single mother, I'm not gonna, look, I don't want to put maliciousness on your words, but it's just it's strange phrasing. I get it, you like the way perhaps she's very caring and loving towards her daughter, you admire that. It's just, I don't know, strange? No? Also, you can genuinely see how much the headsets piss me off. Because why are you wearing them in the picture, bro? Why? I understand for the video call, the interview, hello, but for the picture? I don't get it.
An online relationship with a woman named Shirley. The two met on Facebook and hit it off through messages and phone calls.
Okay.
Andrew has tried countlessly to meet this woman in person, yet something always gets in the way. Let's see if we can verify her and help this guy out.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Andrew. My favorite thing to do is fly airplanes. I have a runway behind my house. I have 5 different planes I fly. My dog is pretty much my life.
Hold on a second here. Shout out to the dog. What's the dog's name? Doggy! I thought they were real planes. They are models. So I was thinking, wow, that's a small plane. I could fit in it. Because...
Are you high or just incredibly stupid?
Dog is pretty much my life. Me and him do everything together. We go out for drives and take him.
Sorry to pause it there. But because I'm small, I can fit in every plane. But I don't know what that joke really was supposed to mean.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
My dog is pretty much my life. Me and him do everything together. We go out for drives and
Okay, headset
take him
on.
to all stores with me.
Hello, doggy.
There you go. There's my best friend.
Woof!
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Ow.
He sits on his daddy's lap a lot. We go out and sit in the yard out there, and I wave at people driving by. And
Years ago, Andrew experienced a deeply challenging event during his wife's company party at the pool. It tragically resulted in him being confined to a wheelchair for
What?
life, which also led to his wife deciding to leave.
she asked me if I'd go to her company picnic, which was at Kings Island. So we went to Kings Island, and that's where my leg started. I was in one of their pools and ripped my foot open on the bottom of their pool, and that's when I lost my leg.
The cut that he got at the pool caused gangrene to spread from the bottom of Andrew's foot all the way up to his thigh. The doctors tried to save his limbs and performed several amputations, causing him to lose his entire leg.
And then after that, cut me off. Didn't want nothing to do with me anymore because I lost my leg. She said, I'm not here to take care of you. You have to take care of yourself. So I haven't talked to my wife in over 4.5 years now.
Understandable.
I've been alone ever since.
My God, let's just hold on a second here, because now I'm scared to go swimming or something. That's a horrible story, man. I don't really have any words, I guess, that could comfort you, other than I'm sorry to hear that. The wife, there must be more, surely. I refuse to believe that she's just left because of that. Because, from the bottom of my heart, maybe when you swim past all of the cynicism in my blood, maybe I'm trying to see the good, right? Maybe something happened where you were not nice to her and she had enough or something. I don't know, but maybe she just is that much of a piece of shit. Yeah, we're married. Yeah, we said our vows. But you look after yourself, mate.
Mr. Krabs, I am so confused.
It's hard. It's hard being alone.
Andrew
get it.
created a Facebook account to meet women online. When he filled out his profile, he wanted to be as transparent as possible to ensure that he would be able to find someone compatible.
Well, it even shows. I said, I'm handicapped, I'm fat, I lost my right leg. I have nothing to offer. I'm looking to chat only. I was only trying to tell the truth. I'm not going to lie and say I've got another leg. I'm going to tell the truth. Shirley was just a girl on Facebook that wanted to talk to me.
This is sad so far. I would you say I respect his upfront honesty like that? My other question is Facebook really a dating place? And he's put all of that in his bio? I don't know if he's using Facebook dating or something, but I guess that's weird if it's just a normal Facebook account and you've put that in your bio. But on the flip side, as I mentioned, I respect the fact that because he is using it for dating, he's just been upfront. He's been honest about his appearance, himself, and you would assume then, when you've put such information out there, that the person who does message you, they're going to like you for you, because of what you've wrote. I completely understand that. And it sucks because this might be a case where genuinely he just didn't know scams existed, which is quite rare on this channel, actually. So, Andrew, look, shiftiness aside from some of the things you've said in the beginning, right? You touch a woman and you fall in love. I don't really know what that means, but so far, I feel for you more than others.
You want to be friends, and of course, it's a lady. I want to be friends. The first conversation I had with her was,
What does that mean?
how are you doing? What's your relationship? Are you with anybody? And she said no. She said, I'm single. My boyfriend cheated on me and left me. I think she's very pretty. She's 41 years old. She's got brown hair. She's got a beautiful daughter. She's 12. She's kind of medium build. She's not fat, but she's not thin. I think she dresses real well. I just think she's a very pretty lady. I don't know what a pretty lady like her sees in me, but she calls me handsome. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm handsome, but she loves to chat. We can chat all day long. I still do.
As someone who is actually very self-deprecating of myself, which self-deprecating, that's what it would mean. I don't self-deprecate other people, do I? What am I on about? But you get the point. As someone who does that a lot, I know that he's being hella self-deprecating himself. So, of course, we always say to these victims, virtually anyway, or sometimes they end up finding the commentaries. So, Andrew, if ever you're watching this, do not get the Illuminati on me, man, please. But I can respect you putting yourself out there and saying just upfront, I don't know what this person sees in me. But then you also have to factor in, perhaps you're being too harsh on yourself to the point where I don't think your mental health is at a good standpoint here. Because it's one thing to be self-deprecating as a joke, perhaps, but in my case as well, like, sometimes I skirt on the border where I believe what I'm saying. And I get the feeling from Andrew, he entirely believes everything he's saying and, you know, putting himself down and stuff. There is honesty, but then there is just being mean to yourself. So I think he needs, from early on, I think he needs counseling in that regard. Like, whilst I do think it's good for the victims to be honest about themselves, it's also, it comes to a point where you might be going overboard and you're actually not helping yourself here.
She was friendly. I mean, she wanted to talk about anything. Anything I told her, she wanted to talk about it.
Can a dog be handsome?
She was okay with me being handicapped. She said that she would love to take care of me, love to help me out. I have a video of her and her daughter singing.
I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me.
Wow.
She asked me if I ever cheated on my wife, and I said, no, never.
What a
When I'm with a
strange
lady,
question.
I respect the lady. That's what my parents brought me up to do.
Fair.
The first month of me and her chatting was great. We talked about everything. We talked about sex. We talked about our relationship, going out, dating,
Chill out, Andrew.
where we're going to live,
Chill out, yeah.
how I'm going to support her and stuff like that. We pretty much just talked about life. I mean, what we're going to do with each other. I like her because her number one thing is her child. If she gets any money together, she spends it on her child. I
Okay.
just like the fact that she's a single mother and, you know, she really cares a lot about her daughter.
Again, strange
What she
phrasing.
wants for her daughter is a father figure. That's another reason why she wants to get with me, for her daughter, which I don't have a problem with that. No
What?
problem at all.
I don't get it.
And I fall in love really fast. I've been hurt a lot in my life by women. She said that I love the way you talk to me. You're very polite. You treat me like a lady.
Okay.
We just get along everywhere. I mean, she loves the same kind of movies. She loves the music I like. She likes to cook. I like to cook. She likes to go out to bars and see bands. She likes to stay home and cuddle like I do. Like I said, we just seemed like we get along great. She tells me that I'm the dominant male and I'm there to take care of her.
What?
She said I will never...
Hold on a second, man. What is this bullshit I'm reading? You're the alpha male. I'm here to listen and let you take care of me. Let you take care of me. That's a new one, isn't it? What kind of nonsense freaking incel vibe story is this going to turn into then? I'm concerned. Because then you got the Illuminati come in. Listen. If you are someone who solely wants to take care of others, you do you, but also recognize there probably will come a time in your life where you are overwhelmed by everything and you need to take a step back, sit down, and let someone take care of you. There's strength in vulnerability. If you're vulnerable enough to allow someone, obviously, to come into your life and you trust them, let them take care of you as well. You don't have to be macho all the time. Okay? Take it from me. I'm macho always. And it's just not good. No, but seriously, please, don't pretend you have to bottle things up and pretend to be strong all the time. That's not human, mate. So...
She said, I will never boss you around. I will never tell you what to do.
What is happening?
She said that's the man's job. The man is there to take care of the family.
Sorry, but taking care of the family doesn't mean that the man needs to be bossy and tell people what to do. Like, I think we're skirting on the border here of me getting pissed off, all right? If the wife, for example, has a perfectly reasonable reason to be angry about something that the man has done, she can voice her opinion, etc., etc. I'm a bit confused what's going on here now. Editing H here, just chiming in really quickly to also say that whilst it's perfectly reasonable for the wife to have an opinion on what goes on around the house, but it's also important that the man or the wife, it doesn't really matter in this instance, it doesn't matter in any household. One person cannot take care of the family full time if we're talking emotionally. If we're talking financially and one person is bringing in all the bread, for example, you know, each to their own. If you can afford to live like that, good on you, I guess. But emotionally, I do hope, at the very least, you know, if you're bringing up a family together, you both are, I wouldn't say invested, because you'd hope you're invested bloody emotionally in this. But I don't want it all stacked on one person, because, as I mentioned, I think, when one person is having a down day, for example, you're going to need the other person to, you know, grab, I don't know what that is, but grab you, pick you back up. So you're going to need help. So the whole taking care of the family, I get it, because it's like, again, it's a macho thing to do of the man. But it's manly to accept that you need help sometimes. Hopefully that makes sense. Editing H once again. And yes, this is Editing H interrupting Editing H. So that might be a first for the channel. But I just wanted to chime back in and say that I have so much respect for anyone who is raising / taking care of someone by themselves. It doesn't matter if it's kids or you're looking after your parents, for example. Whatever your situation is, and you're taking care of a family, bringing people up, I have so much respect for you. For whatever reason, you're doing it alone. As we've mentioned, you need someone to pick you up sometimes and Let me know in the comments, of course. You don't have to go into too much detail. But if you ever do feel down, just know that there are professional services out there, for example, that might be able to help you. So I urge you again, there's strength in vulnerability. Check out what's local to you. But yeah, I don't know if it really can help in any way if you are struggling, but just know I've got so much respect of you. I'm proud of you. Keep going. So yeah.
So, I mean, she sounds like she wants to be a wife. We could talk for a couple hours a day. She'll text me and she'll say, I got to go. And then later
What's
on
her
that
job?
day, she'll text me again. And then usually close to when I'm going to bed, she'll text me again. She's always asking me, are you eating? What are you eating? She's very health conscious woman. She said that she's going to help me out when she gets up here with my health.
Okay,
I can fall in love with a woman in one day when I touch them.
that's just crazy.
I don't know why.
But I don't know
Like
what
I
that
said,
means.
I've been hurt by women before. I touch them, they act like they like me, and then
What?
we're done.
What does someone in the comments let me know when he says when I touch them? Is this the superpower I was talking about earlier? Do you have some kind of very strange Midas touch? And I don't even know what Midas touch means. I've just heard it before, but it surely can't mean this. But if it does actually mean this, that's interesting. What does he mean? I don't know if I should be creeped out or feel sympathy. I don't know. I'm verging on creeped out.
Andrew finally felt he found a companion. The two planned to eventually meet up in person, and Shirley claimed to be in North Carolina, just 200 miles away from Andrew. But things began to get a little more complicated when she started to ask for money.
Crazy.
The first time she asked for money, she wanted me to get the Cash App, which I did. I got Cash App. She wanted $140 more dollars
Let's guess food.
because she was buying beads off of a lady to start her business. I told her, I said, I don't know if I can come up with that kind of money because I live on disability. And she got all depressed with me and said, I really, really need that money. You know, she said, put it on your Cash App and send it to me every time you get money.
Every time? Goodness. Well, one favor has turned into an apparent lifetime supply. Shirley, kiss my foot. Okay, how about that? Just so everyone is aware, obviously don't use your disability on other people. It's for you. Use it on yourself. There are so many people struggling to even receive a disability allowance. Don't spit in their face, please. But also, if you're ever made to feel, well, essentially, if you ever, what's that word again? Gaslighted? Maybe in this instance, that is correct. But if you're ever manipulated with them being sad or whatever at the fact that you don't do what they want you to do, you need to recognize that in your head as a potential sign to leave. Because if this person gets upset every time you say no, you've got big problems for the future. Don't be a sack of shit and stop making people feel guilty if they don't want to do something, okay? Especially when it revolves around money. If they can't afford it, what are you trying to make them do, potential lover, huh?
Every single day, every single week, she asks me for money.
That's mental every day.
Constantly. I need the money to do my business. I need this, I need that. And she just asked me today again, you get paid on Monday, can you send me $140? It's just a non-stop with her. She'll change the subject for a little while and start talking about normal things, but then it will come up and say, can you send me this? Can you send me that? It just doesn't feel right that she wants money like all the time.
Correct.
It does take money out of my Social Security check.
Oh.
I usually run out of money usually the third week in the month, and the rest of the time I'm doing nothing because I have no money.
This is upsetting because the type of person that we've come to know Andrew is from watching his interview here, it just screams, I'm sending you this money so you don't leave me. That's entirely what it screams. That you could replace Shirley with potentially anyone, right? And he will just send money to them so that they don't leave. He's happy with this communication. It's a little bit of interaction. It's sad. Like, you could argue this might be one of the stories that I actually have sympathy for the victim. Like, as crazy as the Illuminati shit is in the bloody, well, technically the future of this video, but the past of this commentary. Wrap your head around that one. But I feel for him. Other than the weird, creepy stuff, which I don't know if it's creepy or not, let me know.
I really like her a lot, and I want her to come up here. I want to be with her. I told her I was willing to adopt her daughter, so she was my daughter. She talks to me like my wife talked to me. I want her to get her business going, and I want her daughter to have a good life. I told her, I said, I'll just jump in my van right now and I'll come down and visit you. And she's like, well, I don't know if we can do that.
Andrew is optimistic about Shirley being who she claims to be. He is willing to do whatever it takes to meet this woman in person.
Was there a reason given there? Or you're just not allowed to come see me despite us being close somewhat in vicinity? Get a grip, Shirley. But also, I feel like Andrew has just, like, swept under the rug that this is potentially too good to be true, in my opinion.
Even if it is sending more money.
This relationship means a lot to me. I really want it to be real. I really want her to come up here and be with me. And I just would like to have a lady in my life.
There you go. He's pretty much confirmed what I've said, that he's just sending money because he has this Shirley in his life. That's the only reason.
Whether or not we become lovers, I don't know. I would be happy with best friends. And I would still do everything with her. I would take her anywhere she wants. I really like her a lot. And she says she likes me a lot, too.
I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not, but I'm of the opinion, of course, a guy and a girl can be friends, right? That's entirely plausible. If you are someone who says they cannot be friends, goodness, you might need some sort of counseling, I guess. However, I do think there is a certain point in such a friendship where you got to draw the line if you're being taken advantage of, right? In this guy, what?
What the f*** is going on in here on this day?
In Andrew's case here, him saying that, even if they're best friends, he's on board with that. Fair enough, I guess. But he'd still send money and etc. No, that's not what best friends do. They don't bloody send each other money and you become their freaking parent. Let's slow the roll here, okay? If you, for example, are friends with anyone, right? It doesn't have to be best friends. You don't have to be, girl, guy, right? If you are in a friendship where you are being taken advantage of, that's still abusive. Just because it's a friendship doesn't excuse it. Hope everyone realizes that. But also, I'm getting the feeling that he just wants a woman by any means in his life, which is very sad to me. Like, you do need counseling, Andrew. I think that would be best, because I don't think you've addressed any potential insecurities you have in yourself following the wife leaving you, essentially. Don't think you've addressed anything like that. I don't think you've taken some time to, is analyze the right word? But analyze your mental health. Are you truly 100% okay? I don't think you have. And you're just trying to fill the void with any woman to replace your wife. Doesn't matter, you love her or not. That's sad. A few days later, with a full stop.
The next day, our team took some time to dig into the information that Andrew had on Shirley.
Oh my God,
After
Bree.
coming up with a game plan, we felt we had
the other Bree.
everything we needed to give him the truth.
What's her name, Virginia?
Stick around until the end. We'll break down everything we found to Andrew.
Potentially unrelated, but anyone else miss Bree? That, shout out Bree.
She's already told me that she wants to get a place for us and create a new family. And that sounds fantastic to
But she
me.
doesn't even want you
So,
to drive
Andrew, we
over.
looked at everything you sent over, and it doesn't look good.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
If you've made it this far, don't
Go do
forget to
that.
like, comment, and subscribe, guys.
But you
We
already are.
appreciate you so much.
I don't think I said that in the
It
beginning.
was now time to sit down with Andrew and go over everything that we had found.
No, but seriously, if someone can explain to me why his room is a green screen, I'd love to know.
You came to us to look into Shirley, and you wanted us to verify her identity. What exactly are you hoping to hear from us today?
I want to know if she's real or not. I went through a miserable marriage with my wife, and I don't want to go through that again. She's already told me that she wants to get a place for us and create a new family.
Yeah, once again, but she doesn't even want you to drive over to her, so that's interesting. When he says miserable marriage, I've seen this so many times on this show, but the victims never seem to be happy in their relationships, which of course doesn't put me off marriage by no means, but it's just scary because if you were miserable all this time, either you would hope someone would leave for the betterment of your own mental health, but also you wouldn't waste time, both of the people. So I guess, I don't know, there wasn't any mention of kids here, so you could obviously chalk up, they stayed together for the kids despite the marriage being miserable. But there wasn't any mention of kids here, so I'm a bit confused. Maybe he thought he just couldn't find someone else, maybe, or I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, it's easy for me to be sat in this chair saying, if you're not happy, work on leaving, if that needs professional support or not. Something is in my eye. I don't know what it is. Maybe the fact that this is more of a sympathetic feeling I've got going on and my eyes are like bugging out, like, oh my god, H has emotions, kind of. But let me know in the comments. You're miserable in a marriage, for example. Would you leave? Of course, there's factors, and that just might be a stupid question. We'll move on.
And that sounds fantastic to me. I've been alone for almost 5 years now.
See?
What I would like to have is a girl in my life to go out to dinner, go out and have a few drinks, go to movies, stuff like that. Romantically, depends on how we get together. You know what I mean? If we get along, maybe. But until then, I really just want a friend.
So why does it have to be a woman? Do you, I didn't pause it earlier on because I just wanted to let this somewhat flow, I guess. But why does it have to be a woman then? Because you're happy with this just being a friendship. What about some guys out there? Do you know what I mean? They might be also in a similar situation, alone for whatever reason, and they're looking for someone else as well to do this kind of thing with, go out and stuff. Why does it have to be a woman? This is where the creepiness kind of comes in. We
were a little blown away by the lack of information that you have to back the fact that this woman could possibly be real. It left us wondering, have you ever been scammed in the past?
He probably says yes.
Most of them want money. That's their number one thing. They want money. They want a relationship, but they want me to come and take care of them, be their sugar daddy. And no matter how many times I tell them I don't have the money, they don't care. They keep just going on and going on and going on. Just like the new one now, I've got the Illuminati. Have you ever heard of them?
No, I thought it was just in the update video, but it's this one as well. No! No! Oh my god, the pizza Donnies! They're here! By the way, I'm just looking at this message. Hello, Andrew, from the Illuminati. And you can just picture just Andrew Tate spewing some nonsense. I don't know why that came to my head. But this is ridiculous, man. There's no way he's actually name dropped them in this intro. It's not even an intro. I've lost my head. Carry on, Illuminati, guys.
Well, they want me to join their organization, and it costs $700 to join, but
No.
I'm going to get $200,000 the next day.
What's going on?
I got offered $10,000 by a lady in California, said she was a CEO of a company out there, and God told her that she had to help somebody that had no money.
What would make this situation any different from any of those times?
What?
I just like the way Shirley talks to me.
No. There's no way in hell you've heard this guy talk about Illuminati, some nonsense pyramid scheme. Quite literally, the pyramid's a triangle, and you've just moved on. What makes this time different to those? The fact that Illuminati is involved? What's going on, guys? I know this is an older video, so maybe there's some slack cutting I can do here. But goodness me, there's no way you should have just moved on that quickly. Donnie talked about Illuminati, pyramid schemes, and you thought, yeah, okay, quite literally a messenger of God talked to him.
That is one big pile of shit.
She actually sends me pictures where all these other people won't.
Why would the
I
Illuminati
don't know, I
send
just like
pictures?
the way she talks to me. Silly already calls me her husband.
No, that's
She
crazy.
says, I will never hurt you. I'm your wife.
Sure.
When she sends me videos, she sounds the same in every video. But that's the only thing that bothers me.
Normally, when we work
What?
on cases, we receive several different pieces of information from the victim, like a passport,
Well, that's not
ID,
Neither
website,
is that.
or sometimes even a home address. But in Andrew's case, we didn't have much to work with. He had been giving money to Shirley, but all he had was photos and a link to her Facebook profile she used to communicate with him. He wanted to have a friendship so bad that he ignored asking for anything else.
An Illuminati.
So we took all of the information that you sent over to us for Shirley, and me and the research team here just dug into your case, and we found some interesting facts and also a bunch of red flags. I want to start off
Illuminati.
with the online business. So Shirley stated that she worked for a company named Fashionista. That's
What a
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
So
what was
what we-
that? Something just flashed on the screen there really quickly. We'll look at that shit website in a bit. What's that? No lol. What does that mean? Who's Sue? If I move out the way. Who's Sue? Who's Sue? Why is Sue saying no lol to I work for a company called Fashionista? And then he says no lol. Sense made there. I don't really get it. What does that say at the top there? What is LY? Love you takes on what? Overactive bladder? Is that what I'm supposed to be reading here? What kind of fashionista is this?
Tools and using public record data, and we were able to verify that this is a legitimate company. However,
God, sorry, but like I'm no editing master, right? But are we in the desert here? Why is the color grading so yellow here? What's going on, guys? Apparently the Illuminati has shoved them into the desert of delusion. That's what happened here. Because I still can't believe they didn't pull him up on that.
However, when we looked into public records and the company directory, we could not find Shirley's name listed at all, anywhere.
Okay. All right.
My question is what did she tell you she did at Fashionista?
She's a manager.
She didn't say. She just said she works there.
We took a look at Shirley's Facebook friends, and Andrew, she had 3 different types of friends. One being a man over the age of 60 years old, and then the second being a fake profile. There was many influencers that they pulled these photos from and created fake profiles, attached the photos to the Facebooks, and then created these fake names. And the third profiles were people from West Africa. It seemed like she had no legitimate friends or family or any real connections with
How do you
anybody
know?
on her friends list.
Like playing devil's advocate, how do you know, other than the celebrities, of course, how do you know that these are not her friends? Like devil's advocate, how do you know this?
Okay.
We ran all of the images that you sent to us of Shirley through our reverse image search tools, and we were able to find her true identity.
Okay.
This is a woman by the name of Renee. She works for an online retail company. She is married and she does have a family.
Okay.
So every single photo that Shirley sent you is on this woman's profile. Here's just a few posts on her Instagram. These are her kids and her family, her dog, her grandmother, her mom. Everything is on this profile here. So what are you thinking? What's going on through your mind?
I'm done.
With?
I'm a little upset, but I needed to find out the truth.
True. Facts.
Because I really was wanting her to move up here, but
as a friend is like, let's not take the piss here.
I'll just have to get over it like I have to get over my ex-wife.
I guess so, but unfortunately, I don't think you've actually got over your ex-wife because you've mentioned her quite frequently in this, actually. So, I don't know. Could you class that as not getting over someone? I think so. But when he says, I'd like her to move up and stuff, as friends, like, you really think as friends you're going to move in together? Now, of course, friends live together. But I don't think this guy just wants a friendship.
You mentioned that you felt like there was a possibility this could have been a scam all along. What do you feel has caused you to become so vulnerable to this relationship?
Because I'm very naive.
Yeah.
Like I did with Illuminati. I was very naive and I signed up for it. Surely, a couple times I figured she was a scammer because she would never call me. She would ask me for a video of me, so I'd send a video of me to her. But I never got anything in return. And I'm like, it took me a total of 30 seconds to do a video and send it to you, but yet it takes at least 5 to 10 minutes. So it was starting to prove to me that she was a scammer, but I really wanted her to be real.
That's the issue.
In my heart, but now my heart's broken.
I don't know how harsh this is, but sometimes in life, no matter how much you want something, it's just not gonna happen. Okay, I mean, I'd like $1 billion, right? I want it. I'd even take it in dollars, and I don't even use dollars in this country, but I'd take it. I want that, but let's be realistic. It's not gonna happen. As much as you can have your dreams, your, I don't want to say passions in this instance, because I'm talking about something else when I mention passions, okay? If you're passionate about something, you crack on with it. You like doing art, for example, crack on. But if your passion becomes delusions, we'll say, perhaps maybe you've gone off the deep end. I hope that makes somewhat kind of sense. Don't lose yourself just because you want something. Hopefully that makes more sense.
I just won't talk to anymore online. I'm done.
I feel like you're just
we want to help you stay safe online. Should you choose to go back out there and try to meet people online, we want to share.
No, I'm going to delete TikTok, and I've actually got 3,000 followers on TikTok now. I actually,
relevant?
Well, get this. I actually got one yesterday that said they were TikTok agents, and they're giving out money to people on like random, like they pick somebody.
Andrew, it's a scam. Andrew.
I know it is.
This tool that we want to share with you, Andrew, you can use it for just about anything.
It's a tool that you can use daily. You can take any messages that you get through text message, your Facebook, and Also, you can use it to verify documents. So you copy and paste everything and you put it into a chat box. Our AI system lets you know the red flags. It breaks down the intentions and tactics this person is using on you. This will be 100% free to you. And we give this to all of our guests that come onto our show. So we'll get you a login and you'll be able to start using it ASAP.
That's interesting, because once again, playing devil's advocate, what if someone genuinely messages you and genuinely is asking for something? It doesn't matter what it is, but what if it's a real person and it says, no, scam? What then? You didn't think about that, did you?
Sounds great. I'd actually like to scan the thing that the Illuminati sent me.
Oh, God.
I really appreciate what you brought to my mind. And I am going to go on there and delete my TikTok. I'm going to delete Shirley. So I'll just go back to talking on Facebook to friends of mine.
Yes.
At least I know now that she's really scamming me. I'll definitely erase her from my Facebook.
After the interview, Andrew decided to block Shirley, firmly determined never to send money to someone he has never met in person.
Thank you, everyone, for
Just chill out there. Have respect. I was reading, please, Drew. Goodness me. To encourage him to disconnect from the online world and engage in more fulfilling activities, we will explore various outlets for him to be active and take breaks from the internet. Now, I think I'll echo that sentiment. He obviously wants to go out and do these things, but you don't need someone there, right? I completely understand, of course, you want to share an experience with someone. I get that. But I, for example, I like to go cinema by myself, right? You don't need to talk to anyone anyway, but you just go. I go restaurants by myself if I'm really feeling it. So people have got to learn to do things by themselves, because we are the person we spend the most time with, right? We're sleeping together. We're freaking doing a poo together. Everything together. So learn to be content with yourself, you know? And I don't think Andrew is. All the self-deprecating stuff, I think it goes way past just joking with Andrew. So hopefully he can seek counseling for that. I hope he's done that ever since this episode. Obviously, the Illuminati stuff is crazy. Not once did the team utter the word Illuminati. So that's concerning in itself. Tell him it's fake.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Remember, all of our new videos go out
Saturday?
every Wednesday.
Oh, Saturday is the commentary upload days for the new episodes. We're now going to go over to do the tantalizing talk and look at some of the comments from the original video. My thoughts, as of right now, definitely a case where I do feel more sympathy than usual. It's obviously concerning. This guy thinks Illuminati is reaching out to him, and the delusion in that aspect is, sky high, right? But I do have more sympathy than others because of how much he puts himself down. It makes a complete change from the usual arrogant victims that we see. So I can see why he got scammed with such a mindset about his own self. I can see how he got scammed, but also it's a bit creepy, right? Certain things, he touches a woman, he falls in love. I don't know what he was on about there, all right? And also the fact he's looking for a friendship, but it must be a woman. You said yourself, you're going to go speak to your other friends on Facebook after this. Why don't you just go out with them? It's a bit confusing. So let me know your thoughts so far at this timestamp. I'll see you in a few seconds, aka 1 second as I cut this. Tantalizing talk time. Are you ready? I think it's important we address this particular comment first. That's so low that his wife did that to him. He's missing one leg. Shake my head. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, I know how exhausting it can be to some people to take care of someone who is not able to take care of themselves, perhaps. I understand. I've seen many stories of such exhaustion as well. So I think it's important that, yes, you know, on paper, when you just hear it, it's a shitty thing, right? But we don't know the full context behind it. Now, we know a lot of these victims, as nice as he kind of seems on screen, a lot of victims just leave out information. For example, there was a guy, apparently his wife just divorced him randomly. You know, she took their child to another state for some counseling or something along those lines. I can't really remember. But after that, they just left him. But it was random, right? Just ran away randomly. So they conveniently leave out details. Now, I don't know Andrew in real life, so I can't say 100% this is the reason that's happened. But we can't... Look, it's a shitty thing if nothing else is concerned. But if there's more to the story, of course we're never going to get context now. But there might be. So you gotta sit on the fence sometimes. The next comment comes from Michael, who says he's too needy, not an attractive trait. Now, I don't particularly see where he was being needy, but let me know in the comments. Perhaps you have experience with someone in your life who speaks like Andrew, maybe behaves like Andrew, and you've seen firsthand the neediness. But from what I can see on the screen, maybe I wouldn't call it needy. Maybe Michael here is misconstruing Andrew's self-deprecating nature as being needy. Now, it's got me thinking, normally someone who does consistently put themselves down, in terms of a romantic setting, those insecurities can, you know, follow you into the relationship where your partner sort of becomes, you know, needs even, I guess, to constantly put you up, if that's the right word, or compliment you to make you feel better. At the end of the day, that is a nice thing, but it shouldn't come from other people. Like, once again, as I always say, happiness has got to come from within yourself first. It doesn't matter what situation it is. You gotta make yourself happy. You gotta be content within yourself. Because there's gonna be times when no one's gonna compliment you, right? You're gonna say something self-deprecating. There's gonna be no one there sometimes to say, no, don't say that about yourself. So you gotta learn to do it yourself. Unfortunately. Maybe not unfortunately. I think it's a good skill to have, to be content within yourself. Yes, I think you can learn to do it. It doesn't come naturally to some people, but needy, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. We've got another comment here that seems to follow along the lines of Andrew being a not so great guy. We got Slug a Bunny? What a name. Total narcissist. Who? Because I don't think he was a narcissist. But once again, maybe I'm misconstruing his self-deprecating nature as a way of fishing for compliments. I don't really think so. Recently, we looked at the victim in Claudia, who was just arrogant AF, right? She is a narcissist with how much she propped herself up on a pedestal. Andrew is like complete opposite, at least in my eyes. And I got 4 of them. Although you could argue that because I wear glasses, I actually can't see things clearly. So let me know your thoughts. Is he needy? Is he a narcissist? I'd love to know your thoughts. The next 2 comments we're going to be looking at follow the same vein, and I wanted to group them together. You all need to set up a get-together with these folks. They're all lonely and looking for friendships. Y'all need to set up a dating chat room with all the people who have gotten scammed, because obviously they are all looking for love. I've mentioned this in a previous video where comments mentioned this idea of making a chat room of some kind, a dating service. No, Because a lot of these victims, for one reason or another, are not the quote-unquote finished package, is the way I'm going to describe it. They don't feel content within themselves for one reason or another. Either they're self-deprecating as Andrew, or in Claudia's case, you could argue someone who is consistently telling you that they are beautiful, they don't look their age. You're trying to convince yourself rather than everyone else. So you've got some insecurities yourself that need to be addressed. And of course, the bountiful victims that we've seen on this show, they all, for one reason or another, have something they need to work on, either in counseling or if they're going to truly work on it themselves. You can't put people who are battling demons together, especially when they've already proven themselves to be very vulnerable to the point they've been scammed, right? Now, you could argue maybe you can bring two people together who are battling demons and they can help each other work on themselves. But as I've mentioned, these victims are vulnerable. They are not in a position to help the other person whilst simultaneously helping themselves. I've always said, if you truly care about someone, you're going to look after yourself so that you are in a good position to be able to help the other person that you care about. It's no good financially destroying yourself to try and help someone, because when you're destroyed at the end of it, how are you going to help this person? It's no good destroying yourself physically, depending on the circumstance. How are you going to help this person? And mentally is perhaps one of the biggest kickers here. You destroy yourself mentally. How are you going to take care of this other person when you can't take care of yourself? Hopefully all of that makes sense. None of this, getting the scam victims together as some sort of Cupid shooting his bow and arrow. Someone get that arrow out of the sky right now. We're not having a good time here. Shouldn't do that. They need to work on themselves, not another relationship, and not another person who they can't look after their own self. That's a recipe for disaster. The next comment I wanted to highlight because I'm noticing this a lot more. And look, there are people out there also who, they like to poke fun in such a way, I guess it makes you seem funnier or whatever. All his lard ass needs is a call girl. Now, I understand some people might call me woke for this. I understand some people might say I'm just too sensitive or something. But in nowhere in this comment do you need to call him a lard ass, right? I assume you're attacking his weight when quite literally he touched on his weight in the video. It's one of those things where you can't make fun of someone if they've already called themselves out for it, right? Me, I call myself rat boy. I kind of resemble a rat, especially when I was growing up. I've got quite a big nose. I know some people say it's not that big, but again, growing up, it was made to be a focal point to some kids. But if someone was to say to me, you look like a rat, I'm going to laugh it off because I've called myself that already. So him calling himself a particular weight, you saying lardass is uncalled for, let's be honest. And if you need an example of what this comment could have been, all he really needs, or all it seems like he needs, is a call girl. Like, simple as that. There's no need to say lardass. You're trying to be funny, I guess. Maybe you're projecting your own insecurities. But it's not funny. Call me woke if you want. But I think it's important to mention that because, of course, I've covered a My 600 Pound Life clip before in the past, that if you call someone out and not berate them. What's the word I'm looking for here? I will stick with call out. If you call out someone for needing to better themselves health-wise, that's one thing. Calling them a lard ass, I don't know. I mean, back in the day, of course, you could, bullying used to, like, make people drastically change their appearance, right? I mean, for example, you could argue, if I didn't receive such comments, I didn't change my nose, I didn't stop looking like a rat, right? But weight-wise, especially factoring in when I myself realized I was in pain when I used to walk, I'd have chest pains in bed, etc., etc. That coupled with the fact that people were obviously saying things, I guess you could say kick me up the arse to go out and change. But lard ass, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I feel like there is a better way to tell people that, I don't think that particular comment was saying it in a positive way to try and get him, or Andrew, to work on his weight. I don't think so. But hopefully what I'm trying to say makes sense. You can tell someone that they need to work on themselves without resorting to, like, childish humor, I guess. Does that make sense? The next comment is a comment that I will never understand in any of these stories, okay? You cannot possibly fall in love with someone in one day, especially true if you've never actually met them in person. Now, there's this whole thing, of course, of love at first sight. However, not to obviously so seriously deconstruct that phrase, because I don't really think it's meant to be taken so seriously, but we see it in Hallmark movies, we see it in them cheesy Disney Channel movies. You bump into someone, your hands touch as you pick each other's books up. Oh, it's so beautiful, it's romantic. That's not love at first sight, I don't think. That is, you've just seen someone very attractive and you just like their face, do you know what I mean? Or perhaps you like the way their eyes are glistening in the sunshine. Whatever the case is, you don't love this person. Get a grip of yourself. So, to love someone in one day, it's a crazy idea to me. It's an absolute bonkers notion. But in the state that Andrew is, from what I can see on screen regarding his mental health, I don't think it's love. Again, he's just trying to fill the void with anyone. But that goes also the same for a lot of these victims. For one reason or another, they can say love as much as they want. It's not. The next comment is one that I'm kind of glad to see, because as much as on screen Andrew seems much nicer than a lot of victims we normally see, I did think this particular part was a bit creepy. Falls in love in one day after touching a woman. Creepy AF. Maybe he just phrased that completely wrong. Or maybe, he let slip the creepiness, right? I don't really... Falling in love after one day. You say that, you're delusional AF. What can we do, really? When you add in after touching a woman, I got no idea what you're talking about at this point. So once again, I'm glad someone else picked up on it. But let me know in the comments, because I'm still confused. And then lastly, we have a comment by the TT member herself, Mildred. Shout out Mildred if you've made it this far in the video. It doesn't matter if it's you specifically, Mildred. But anyone, put a tomato emoji, please. Or just type out tomato, because I like tomatoes. He was given the free AI tool to check emails to see if they're fraudulent, yet he still sent money to a scammer after this. He thought he was joining the Illuminati. Now, I assume she mentions or is mentioning the update video. Yes, quite literally you gave him a tool and he still fell for more Illuminati things. I think, he sent another $50 because he get 100 grand back. My God, if the Illuminati are offering this, I can give you £50. I'll fork it up and I'll give it to you plus more if it means I get more back. Do you see? I'm part of you. As you can see. Can you see it through the triangles? Maybe I actually need to stop doing it, because if somehow they've caught whiff of this through the cameras, then, oh my goodness, I am now dead in bed. And you should wonder, who edited this? How did it get online? Because I've been robbed. And they've uploaded the video for me. So thank you, thieves. Anyway, what the hell? Oh, they've got me for sure. I will say once again, though, getting back on topic here, it's another story where the team have given someone tools or whatever, and it's just been a waste of time. So that's not funny, but funny at the same time. But funny in the sense that you want to cry. Otherwise, you'll lose your head. My lips are really dry. I'm going to go now. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Please let me know all your thoughts in the comments. If you do want to see more, of course, playlist up there as usual. But if you do want to see something else scam related, not scam fish, it'll be down there. Bye. Cheers, Illuminati. God, shut up now.